Every year, Forbes publishes the world's billionaire list, and most of us are fully aware that our net worth does not remotely come close to those on that list, like Elon Musk or LeBron James. But have you ever wondered how yours compared to your peers? Knowing how well you're doing compared to your peers can be one way to determine your financial health. And that is what we are going to explore in today's video. There's a common misconception that your net worth is based on your annual income, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Although your income is a wealth building tool, it's only one part of your financial picture. Someone with a $200,000 annual income may have a lower net worth than another person making $50,000 a year, because net worth is a function of assets minus liabilities. Let's calculate your net worth together. First, add up all of your assets. This includes cash in your bank, the value of your home, your investment accounts in brokerages like Charles Schwab, and your retirement accounts like the 401k or the IRA. And let's not forget any cash you have under the mattress. Second, add up all of your liabilities, which are things you owe money on, such as your student loan, credit card debts, outstanding mortgages on your homes, or car loans. Then subtract your total liabilities from your assets. Whatever this number is, whether it's positive or negative, that is your net worth. And let's go back to the example before. The person making $200,000 may have a huge student loan for medical school, a mortgage on a mansion, car loans for multiple cars, and credit card debt from fancy vacations. And even though this person brings in good income, the liabilities can be just as high, and therefore there's less money left as his net worth. Whereas the person making $50,000 living frugally without incurring much debts can end up saving more money and have a higher net worth. Now that we understand how net worth is calculated, let's take a look at what the US averages are. People in their 20s are in the early stages of their careers or pursuing higher education, so it's common to have low net worth or even negative net worth because of student loans. The average student loan debt is $37,338 per borrower. So if your net worth is anything above zero, you're doing better than the average 20-year-old. In your 20s, you might be broke, but you have the most valuable resources on your side, which is time. The younger you start saving, the less you need to put away each month to reach $1 million by the age of 65. According to Charles Schwab, in your 20s, you only need to put away $508 every month, whereas someone in their 40s, they will need to put away almost 3 times more at $1,433 to reach the same $1 million. What's incredible is that of the $1 million, you only need to contribute $244,000. The rest, $756,000, is your money working hard on your behalf with compound interest. The power of time is everything when it comes to the life-changing magic of compound interest. The sooner you start saving and investing, the less of your own money you have to save. At this age, prioritize building good money habits. Aim to save 10 to 15% of your pre-tax income. This could be for an emergency fund, a down payment for a house, a stock portfolio, or for retirement. 10 to 15% may not be feasible for everyone, so start with a percentage you feel comfortable with and gradually increase it over time. The most important thing is to be consistent. You're building muscle memory for saving money before you move on to something harder. I would recommend that you open a Roth IRA account. In 2024, the maximum contribution is $7,000, but you don't need to contribute the maximum. Just put in what you can and start the habit of contributing every year and let the investment compound. All the money in this account will be tax-free when you take it out at retirement. If your employer offers a retirement plan at work, such as the 401k or the 403b, make sure to take advantage of matching contributions. For example, if you make $50,000 a year and your company matches up to 6% of your salary, that means to get the full match, you need to contribute $3,000 and your employer would match an additional $3,000. That's free money. Open up a credit card so you can start building up a good credit score. This will help you get cheaper rates on car loans and home mortgages down the line. Make sure to pick a credit card with no annual fees, and look for a credit card that will give you rewards back for your normal everyday spending. Learn how to use credit cards responsibly. Understand your spending habit so you do not carry a balance on a credit card. Do your best to live within your means because interest on repayment is simply money lost. Always pay your credit card on time and in full to build a good credit score. And don't fall for the buy now, pay later services. Buy now, pay later services have some of the highest interest rates out there. You're essentially borrowing from your future self in order to satisfy your wants for today. And this can set you back from achieving your financial goals. At this age, people are beginning to make a decent amount of money. It's very tempting to spend all of your money. It's perfectly fine to splurge on nice things and have fun experiences as long as it doesn't set you back financially in a major way. Learn to budget and start forming a habit of saving. Budgeting helps you understand your income, what you have left after taxes, your expenses, and where you're overspending. If you do this, you're giving yourself a head start compared to most other people in their 20s. If you owe money on your credit cards, the wisest thing you can do is pay off the balance in full and as quickly as possible before you put your savings into other investments. Because it's nearly impossible to find investments that will give you the returns to match a 20% interest rate on your credit card. Historically, the stock market averages between 8 to 10% a year, and that is why you're better off eliminating all credit card debts before investing. If you're able to be debt-free at some point in your 20s, you're going to be well-positioned to thrive in your 30s. According to research released by Federal Reserve in October of 2023, the median net worth of those younger than 35 years old is $39,000. And for those between 35 and 44 years old, the US median net worth is $135,000. In your late 30s and early 40s, your goal is to have saved at least 1 year's worth of your gross salary. That is your income before tax. Systematically invest and save at least 15 to 20% of your pre-tax income if you can afford it. You should have a retirement account like the 401k, the Roth IRA, or the IRA. Also, take advantage of the health savings account if it is offered by your employer. It could be tempting to borrow from your retirement account, but that will reduce your long-term savings, so avoid doing that. Instead, have a separate emergency fund for unexpected expenses. Consider investing in low-cost index funds or other investments that offer growth potential. Over the long term, index funds have generally outperformed other types of mutual funds. Also, diversify your investment and manage your risk. Pay attention to fees because high fees can easily eat into your profit. You should have a credit score between 700 to 750. And if you don't, that's okay. It's never too late to start building your credit score. In your 30s and early 40s, focus on developing high-value skill sets such as interpersonal skills and communication skills. That way, you become more marketable as you move ahead on your career. It will pay dividends down the road. Ideally, you are increasing your income over time during this period, so ask for that raise every single year. Continue to budget and manage your spending as your income grows. Lifestyle creep is a real phenomenon. Of course, you worked hard for your money, so you want to spend it on things that make you happy. It's natural, but don't let it jeopardize your long-term financial health. It's not how much money you make, but how much you keep. Try to see the increased income as an opportunity to save more and build wealth. One way to manage lifestyle creep is to act as if you did not receive the raise. Continue to live the same lifestyle you led before receiving a raise and invest the difference. As Warren Buffett famously said, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. In your late 30s and early 40s, the goal is to be completely debt-free. And if you're struggling with debt, I would recommend an accelerated debt repayment plan using the debt avalanche method. Debt avalanche method involves making minimum payments on all of your outstanding accounts, then use any extra money to pay off the bills with the highest interest rate. When the highest interest rate debt is paid off, you put the extra money toward the account with the next highest interest rate, and so on until you're done. Using this method will save you the most on interest payment. The next category is for those between the age of 45 and 54. This is a turning point for most Americans. People are halfway between entering the workforce and the traditional retirement age. Median net worth between 45 and 54 is $246,700. This amount is achievable if you follow the prior advice for 20s and 30s. Continue to save at least 15 to 20% of your pre-tax income. Savings for retirement should be a top priority at this point. If you're making more money than you were in your 20s and 30s, it's time to look seriously at boosting your savings. If you continue to invest the money, with compounding interest, you should have 3 to 4 times your annual income put away. Continue to maximize your contribution to tax-advantaged retirement accounts, such as the 401k, the IRAs, or something similar. If you have not been contributing, it's not too late to start now. There's still time for the power of compounded interest to work its magic. A solid emergency fund is especially important at this age. You're likely to have a family and you're responsible for more people. There should be enough funds to cover living expenses for at least 3 to 6 months. If you have kids, consider setting up a 529 plan for educational expenses. This has tax advantages and benefits from compound growth. It could be tempting to tap into retirement savings to pay for college. But remember, your kids can always borrow for college, but you cannot borrow for your retirement. Having a life insurance is a crucial part of financial planning in your 40s. You have to be prepared for the worst, especially if you're married and have kids. The rule of thumb is that you need life insurance that covers 10 times your annual salary. Between the age of 45 and 54, you will likely be at your peak earning years according to Bureau of Labor Statistics. You most likely have a great deal of experience and knowledge, so don't underestimate your abilities. Ask for that raise, let your employer know that you're ready for more responsibilities and a promotion. In your earlier years, retirement can feel like a lifetime away. But when you're between the age of 55 and 64, retirement is no longer an abstract concept. You are at the home stretch, and this is a good time to buckle down and review your overall financial plan. Make sure you're on track so you can make adjustments sooner rather than later. If you stay the course on savings in your earlier years, the compound interest will take over and start growing your money faster than you're able to contribute. The average US median net worth for this age group is $364,500. In this age group, it is recommended that you have at least 5 to 7 times your annual income saved and invested somewhere, which means if you make $80,000 a year, you should have at least $400,000 across all your savings and retirement accounts. And that is not a small sum of money. A lot of people in their 50s are not there yet. Don't get down on yourself if you don't quite meet this goal. This may mean that you likely need to shift more of your money to retirement savings. One of the benefits of reaching 50 is that you can make catch-up contribution to tax-advantaged retirement accounts. For 2024, 401k contribution limit is $23,000 for those under 50, but it's $30,500 for those 50 and older. You can also contribute up to $8,000 to IRAs if you're 50 and older, which is $1,000 more than the limits for younger people. This allows you to accelerate your savings. Here in your 50s, you are at your peak earning years and likely have a great deal of experience and expertise in your field. Think of ways to earn extra income on the side. Freelancing or serving as a consultant can provide additional earnings if you're behind on your savings. This is also a good time to aggressively pay down your debt. You may need to reduce your discretionary spending and pay down your credit card debt. That way, you will have fewer monthly expenses to worry about when you stop working. It's fine if you haven't paid off your mortgage, but try to finish this up in your late 50s if you can. Consult with an estate planning attorney to create an estate plan. That way, you can rest assured that your family won't have to sort out your finances themselves should anything happen to you. At a minimum, include a last will and testament, financial power of attorney, healthcare power of attorney, and a living will. The next bracket is for those between 65 and 74. This is the stage you've been planning for most of your adult life. Are you ready to start this new chapter? In your late 60s, you may be wondering if you saved enough to cover your lifestyle. According to the Federal Reserve, the US median net worth for this age group is $410,000. It is recommended that you accumulate approximately 10 times your current income for retirement. If you have been investing and putting money away in your earlier years, this is the time when all the hard work is paying off. Now you should be in a good position. You can start withdrawing from your retirement accounts, such as the Roth IRA or Roth 401k, completely tax-free without penalty after the age of 59 and a half. You can also start taking benefits from your Social Security at 62, but you will get a bigger benefit if you wait for full retirement age, which is between 66 and 67. You will get the largest payment if you wait until you reach 70. You should have a solid understanding of your financials, and there is no more guessing on how much you will need. Make a realistic assessment of your current spending and make sure you have the income to cover it. I would suggest that you test your budget and do a dry run 12 months prior to retirement and see if you can realistically live on your fixed cash flow. And if it doesn't meet your needs, then you will have to make adjustments or plan on getting a part-time job after retirement. In your 60s, it's the time to properly plan for health-related expenses, especially the unexpected ones. They really can deplete your savings. Look for long-term care insurance, which will help cover the cost of a nursing home or home care if you need it in advanced years. Now you have a better understanding of net worth and savings goals for each age group based on expert surveys and studies. But at the end of the day, that magic number you need to save and have a comfortable retirement, it's highly personal. It depends on where you live and the lifestyle you want to lead in retirement. You can estimate the net worth you need in retirement by using the popular 4% rule backwards. The 4% rule states that in retirement, you can live off of 4% of your money each year, adjusted to inflation. To work this backwards, add up all of your spending annually, then take your annual expenses and divide that by 0.04. This is roughly the number you will need to accumulate in your retirement portfolio to maintain your current standard of living. For example, if your annual expenses add up to $40,000, divide that by 0.04. The net worth you need to maintain your current lifestyle is $1 million. Achieving financial independence is attainable, but it does require discipline, patience, and a long-term mindset. To quote Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep and how hard it works for you. We've all heard of stories of high-profile athletes, despite making millions and millions of dollars, got into financial trouble and went broke because they spend more money than they make. So it's important to understand your spending habits and follow a budget. If you're interested in learning to budget, check out this video linked on screen and I will see you there.